Okay.
You want to do the intro this time?
I drank some milk the other day and it was pretty fucking good. Now my bones are strong.
Of course, that's how you.
I don't give intros. I just critique yours.
Fuck you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Super Boring Legion of Chaos podcast, in which Jacob supposedly carries the whole thing because that's the kind of person he is. He feels like he carries everything.
I never said that. What are you talking about?
That's what you're thinking in your mind. You know it.
No, what I'm thinking about is some fucking chips right now, dude. Like, what kind of chips I want to get? Like, you ever got those, like the Dorito Tapatillos? It's a spicy Doritos. Hey, yo, bussin'. Dude,
I'm Canadian. It's all about ketchup chips here. Ketchup chips and all.
I remove Grandmaster Nick from the live.
All right, so here's the music.
Ketchup.
Because I'm Canadian.
No, it's.
I mean, I don't like Canadians.
You said ketchup chips.
Yeah, they're good.
That's all.
You put ketchup on French fries, right?
Bro, we all hate Canada here. Bonjour. Hello. Welcome back, Dr. Dreidel.
Yeah, just block out Antonia. Bonjour. Okay. So we're doing another tier list this week because last week we just yelled at each other a lot, so that was pretty funny. But this time we're doing a Marvel thing because we haven't done any comic book stuff in like a month.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be like a mixture of the two. The anime was starting to take over. Okay, so we got a list of MCU shows. It features Hulu's stupid bullshit, the Marvel Netflix shows, and then the Marvel movies. So right off the bat, Jessica Jones. Am I the only one who thought this was an absolute banger?
It was shit.
I thought it was a banger.
I haven't seen it.
Garbage.
So.
Antonio,
I'm like 50-50. I'm like, I thought it was good, but at the same time, I thought it could have been better.
I thought it was.
Kilgrave was the one good part about that show. He carried season 1. Then without him, the show was just wasn't the same.
I thought it was. I love Jessica Jones as a character, and I thought she was.
David Tennant, great actor. David Tennant.
He is a great actor. Listen. He was fantastic. I think you're right. The guy did carry, but I also don't think it's as bad as you're trying to make it out to be.
I would put season 2 specifically was terrible. Huh?
I would say B or C.
The highest I can give it is D.
I would say C.
Oh, that's 2-1, bitch. We're going in C tier.
I'd be happy with C. I haven't seen it, but
you haven't seen
C minus, low C.
I'm not adding a C minus tier.
No, it's just that's
for Ragnarok. So how fast are we going to do that? It's an S tier movie.
It's S tier. Actually, do we have a God tier, or is this going to just be S tier?
The goats.
Just put Ragnarok in its own.
Yeah, I was gonna put Rag.
I thought
I don't think that's spelled right.
Hey. Ragnirok.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it gives some of the most meaneful character development to Thor.
It literally reinvented the character of Thor.
The third other guy that I invited just now responded to me saying that he just got out of work, so he missed the invite, and even though he said the other day it was okay. Do you want to add him in if he gets the time?
If he wants to hop in, he's more than welcome to. I don't give a shit. I'm here just to flame you and your dog shit opinions on Civil War.
I will say, even though I love Ragnarok, I have movies above Ragnarok.
No Way Home.
Oh.
Actually, no. Oh, yeah, sorry, yes. No Way Home is above Ragnarok, sorry.
That's what I'm saying. It's so good. We're going to add a row. We're going to have the row above, and that one's just going to be called God tier.
Mm-hmm.
So Ragnarok is God tier.
And Ragnarok was amazing. So, like, No Way Home.
No Way Home.
God tier.
Jessica Jones. Yeah, I relate to her drinking. Yeah.
God.
Same.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I'm going to preface this by saying that I only saw clips of Ghost Rider. The rest of the show I didn't
Yeah.
care about because they did not explain how Phil Coulson lived.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes, they
I
no.
agree.
He so there was Kree blood infused into him, which is able to bring humans back to life. Kree blood is complex enough that like
Cool.
compared to human anatomy, it's
That's one of the most bland, most stupid fucking things I've ever heard.
I don't
I,
know.
just
I
put some
tried
Kree
watching
blood.
it. I gave it a good shot, but I just couldn't get into it.
I enjoyed it, but I'm not saying it was necessarily good. But I thought it was enjoyable for what it was worth, especially the characters.
It tried too hard. I felt like it tried too hard to like match up as a Marvel, like the Marvel movies, but in a TV show like setting.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that says it was good?
Listen,
Where
I would
would we
say
put it?
I would say Ghost Rider carried, and he was only in for one season.
Yeah, I mean you wouldn't be wrong, but I think
I
it
would
was-
say
I think
C
the characters.
Yeah. See,
All right,
We're putting on the likes of Jessica Jones. Oh wow. Okay.
but it goes past.
I don't think
It's
Ghost
above
Rider's
Jessica
enough.
Jones. Jessica Jones is C minus. Agents of Shield is just C.
Punisher, banger of a show.
I'd say B tier. Like I think, like I'm willing to give it A tier, but more A minus. I think it was good. It did have a little bit of something. Like Micro was a fucking bitch. I fucking hate. He was annoying every time he showed up. But other than that, I think it was pretty good and enjoyable.
I don't have like a strong opinion of Punisher. I watched like maybe half of the first season, but I got busy doing other stuff, and I just never went back to finish it.
I mean,
So
like, I would
Yeah,
say it's
that
better
for
than
Agents of Shield, yeah, it did kind of go on.
Stop covering Antonia.
Well,
Dick.
Yeah, that's the damn
no,
Dravel.
I definitely thought it was better than Jessica Jones. I would say B.
Yeah,
I mean, like, but it wasn't like wow, oh my gosh, but it was really good. I did enjoy it, and I liked how they really portrayed Frank. And I don't know. I mean, I really enjoyed it. But
Yeah.
it's
Tom
definitely better
Berthold's
than
an
Jessica
amazing
Jones.
actor.
to that extent, I do kind of think. I mean, the Punisher in the show is a much better character than he is in the comics. Like Punisher in the comics is dog shit. He's a horrible person. He's scum of the earth. There's nothing likable about his character in
I
the comics.
love the Punisher.
He's insufferable.
What makes him insufferable in the comics? The fact that like he is willing to do what people are too scared to do, and he don't
It's-
give a shit.
It's the fact that he just fucks everything up at this point. That's all he does is just fuck shit up. That's his mindset.
Get in
is
his
fuck
way.
it up.
If you don't want people, listen. If you don't want it goes down. Remember we did the podcast on the no kill rule.
Yeah.
If you just kill the people, you ain't got to deal with them anymore. You bury them 6 feet under the fucking ground. You don't got to deal with them breaking out of prison and killing more people. Punisher's got that right
Yeah,
idea.
but why doesn't he
Fuck
kill
the people.
Kingpin? When do you ever see him kill people that actually
Remember when
fucking
he shot
deserve
Kingpin
it?
in the fucking face, and his face was so fat it just absorbed the bullet?
That wouldn't stop Punisher.
It's
You
hard
know
to
it would.
kill him. It's hard to kill the Kingpin.
Yeah.
It's not okay. It's not the hardest thing in the world. It's
He got
hard.
shot he got shot with a 45 directly to his face, and all he did was go blind.
You say that like he couldn't just use it. Actually, has he used explosives against?
You ever had a gun right here? It'll fucking kill you. He just took it right to the eye, and it stopped right there. I don't think shrapnel's gonna hurt him.
yeah,
He is a durable,
Even in
durable
Hawkeye.
PC boy.
It's not so much.
Hawkeye, he took an explosion point blank, and he just got up dazed.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's MCU. where
Oh
they
yeah, yeah.
drastically weaken the characters. And
Then
you
why
know
the
that
fuck
to
does?
the face?
Then why the fuck does the fucking Kingpin lose to Daredevil?
That's a good point.
Maybe because they secretly have a thing for each other, and they don't want to
Yeah.
give in.
The thing they
Your
try to
boys?
kill like Kingpin
Enemies
is
to
ready
lovers,
to murder his
man.
entire family.
Hey man, listen.
No,
If I saw Daredevil too, now
Daredevil
I can
used Killgrave to wipe Kingpin's memory of knowing that Matt Murdock was Daredevil because everyone was put in danger, which was also the fault of Daredevil of fucking up so badly that Kingpin found out his identity.
So
You're
B
not
tier.
compelling. You're
Also,
not very
there's the whole
compelling.
there's the
You're not very
entirety of
compelling.
the entirety of Devil's Reign right now is the result of Daredevil being a fucking dumbass.
Listen, you're not very compelling on your reasons for why you don't like the Punisher. So far, now that you bitched about every other hero but the Punisher.
Bitched about every hero. Yeah, well, because he's not even a hero, so how can you say bitched about every other?
I'm just saying, well, why? If you say he's unlikable, how come?
Because he does nothing but fuck shit up, and yet he consistently has this
Punisher, he
idea that
fucks
See,
shit
okay,
up.
here's the thing. Okay, I look at Punisher the same way
he's
I look at
one-dimension-
Godzilla
he's too
and
one-dimensional. He's one-dimensional.
Godzilla and Superman.
Yes, you read their stories and like play their games and whatnot just to see them fuck shit up.
Yeah, that's true.
Like they do insanely stupid shit, and it's interesting to watch. And I think that goes for this show.
Yeah.
The fight choreography is incredible, from what I have seen.
Yeah.
I think it deserves it's at least a B tier.
Yeah.
I agree with B tier.
Fine. Yeah, B tier.
I think it's marginally
Oh,
better
B
than
tier.
Jessica Jones and Agents of Shield.
Yeah.
But I think we still have way more other things that will go even higher than Punisher.
I never watched Runaways.
Neither have I.
F tier. Shit.
I just heard nothing but.
Also,
bad
really, if
things about
anything,
it.
D, because I mean, it's not nearly as bad as other things I hate, but yeah, F or okay, remove
think we
E.
should-
That doesn't. We don't need an E tier.
I think we should put Runaways in haven't watched, considering the majority
No, I've
of us
seen
haven't
it.
watched it.
Yeah. I saw it and I haven't seen it, and I've seen it. I don't like it. It's boring as shit.
So F is the absolute worst of the worst.
Like it's boring as shit. That's kind of the thing. It's not like I don't really know if you can, like I don't despise it. I just find it extremely uninteresting.
Okay. Luke
So
Cage.
would that be considered F or just D?
You're the only one who's seen it, so it's on you. We
D
either keep it in
I
Johnsky's tier, or do we either keep it in the Johnsky tier or the F tier?
Well, if I'm the one carrying right now on the ranking, then it goes D tier. That's how it works. If you haven't seen it, you don't get.
Beautiful row. Get rid of the Johnsky row. Okay, Luke Cage. So I'm gonna be honest.
C plus.
I don't remember season 2.
I like barely remember like any of season 1.
I think
Most of the-
I'd say C plus B minus. It was good. It was like I enjoyed it, but overall it's forgettable.
Most of the Netflix shows I just haven't watched. So,
I remember he absolutely plowed the shit out of Jessica Jones in that. Like I did. No, it was Netflix level of blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
The
he did it
MCU,
multiple
they
times
fuck.
too. It was at least 3 times that we actually saw that.
I mean, fair point.
So I'd say C plus B minus. Probably C plus because as much as I enjoyed it, it was extremely forgettable.
I'd be okay with C plus.
Yeah.
High C tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Above Jessica Jones? No, above Jessica Jones. Bad.
Yeah.
Defenders. I actually thought it was terrible.
Defenders.
I
It
How
was.
do you have Sigourney Weaver, one of the greatest actresses of our generation of all time, and you give her nothing to do?
I will agree. I
Yeah.
don't like I unfortunately like it could have been better and they could have given a lot
I'd
more
say-
development. So I would say it would be like C, like bottoms, like C minus.
Yeah, bottom C,
Below
low C
Agents of
tier.
Shield?
Yeah.
Because I agree.
No,
Yeah.
I agree. I was like,
Because
wow.
like Agents of Shield at least had some good moment. It was at least
Yeah, it had
fun.
Ghost Rider. This had nothing.
Yeah.
It just had Sigourney Weaver looking pretty and doing absolutely nothing, and then done for.
Not to mention we had to deal with Iron Fist bitching on again over random shit. The Netflix show's version of Iron Fist was just horrible. It didn't understand the
I
character. of Iron
really
Fist.
wanted to like him because I love Danny
Yeah.
Rand in the comics.
Yeah,
No,
in the
you're
comics
not
he's
allowed
actually
that.
interesting.
No, Well,
I thought the
everyone said
pacing
that.
for the
They're
show
like, I
ass.
really wanted to like it, but they just butchered it. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, I'm the same way. I really was excited for the show, but then when it came out, I was like highly disappointed.
Yeah.
All right. The
Yeah.
most slept on the most slept on MCU property, Agent Carter.
Low B.
Yes.
It was good. It was good. I give it that. I liked it. I liked every moment of it.
I make it
but
low. I give it low A. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I think it's one of the most slept on properties in the MCU.
And they didn't advertise it as well as they could have.
Yeah, that's true. I
It
think
was-
it real.
had-
I
it
do.
had-
I am still upset that we got.
substituted to advertise instead of Agent of Carter, Agents of Shield.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
No, I'm still pissed. We only got 2 seasons, especially because I loved watching Haley Atwell's tits bounce around in everything she was wearing.
Listen,
Don't
I wasn't gonna
Jesus,
say it.
John.
I wasn't gonna
You were
say it.
thinking it. You were thinking
I
it.
was
You were
definitely thinking it because I'm a single man, but you know
It's
She's
Haley
hot.
Atwell.
I'm not gonna
that
deny
she
it.
is
She's
so
hot.
fucking hot, dude.
Yeah.
It's wild, dude. I can't wait to see
And
her
it's
in
really the
multi-
last. It's like kind of the last time we really get a full glimpse of her, and when she's not old and deteriorated. So like, yeah, that was like when she's actually the age she is. Yeah, she's hot as shit.
I was gonna say we're gonna see her, aren't we gonna see her in Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness? I guarantee you, we're gonna get a glimpse.
I thought we were
You
getting
thought-
a new Agent Carter show, weren't we? With
Well,
her
okay.
being Captain Britain or whatever.
That well, I was
Yeah.
gonna say they're gonna because they showed
Yeah,
off in the
see?
trailer for Multiverse of Madness. They showed the Marvel
okay.
Zombies for a second, so I think they're
Yeah.
gonna. And then we saw the Evil Strange from What If, so I think we're gonna see Captain Britain.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey
Totally.
yo, I would love to see a muscular Haley Atwell. Yes.
Definitely.
God.
Have you seen her? She's
Yeah.
so hot. A tier for her alone. Hey, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
F.
D tier.
I
At
can't
best.
finish
D
it,
tier,
man.
nicest.
Okay,
I cannot
I
finish
don't-
this movie.
yeah. Look,
Take-
I'm with Nick. I don't, but it's like, yeah, I don't hate it, but I don't give enough of a shit to watch it again.
Same.
Okay,
I
Let me-
thought it was just I just
Like,
watched
first
it
of all,
because
I don't
took
really-
kids to go see it, and it's a family-friendly movie.
Let me
Like,
justify
yeah, that's
why
about
people
it.
should go
It's
in
family
C
friendly.
tier. Let me justify why I think it go in C tier. I think the biggest reason people shit on this movie so much is because it came right after Infinity War.
That's
Well, I think it's also
Jake-
the fact that
Jake
the
had
only
the
thing that
fun-
really mattered in that movie was the end credit scene, which isn't
Yeah,
really
well,
part of
because
the
it was
movie.
meant to be like a comedic relief because we just watched half of the universe get fucking snapped away a couple months ago.
Well, the thing is, like, it was
Time at
comedic
San
relief,
Francisco.
but I didn't find it all that funny.
it's
Well,
so
This
boring.
one sucks.
Yeah, like if it's a
I
comedic
think-
relief,
I
at
think
least
the
let it
guy
be
who- I
funny.
think the whole the dude who was trying to get the lab the whole time. I thought he was boring as shit. He did not need to be there.
I feel like the comedy in it was just extremely like dragging, where I'm just sitting there like, okay, get to the point. Like it's like when it's one thing to be comical, but when your comedy, it leaves me unengaged and wanting you to just stop joking around and get on with the fucking plot, then that's not good. That's just not good comedy. It's boring.
So you guys are saying D tier?
Yeah.
D tier.
F tier. I hate Ant-Man. I hate him in the comics. I hate him in the movies.
Like I don't
I
like
just can't
so I'm
I don't
kinda
mind
with
Paul
you.
Rudd.
Wait.
Paul Rudd is not
Ant-Man? What Ant-Man are we talking here?
All of them.
And
I
just like
think-
that, Grandmaster Nick, you're being removed from the you're being removed from the podcast.
Look.
How do you hate
The
Scott
first one,
Lang?
the
It's
first
not-
one was really good.
No. That's where I
I
actually
don't know
wanna
about the
point
first
out.
one.
No, it's actually Scott Lang, the Ant-Man, that I don't really like because his comic book story is just that.
Scott Lang is superior to Hank Pym. Hank Pym is an
No.
alcoholic who beats his wife.
Yeah, I
That's the
I
point.
don't like.
He only
any
did
of
that
them.
one time in canon, and that was the
That is
point of
one
showing
time
that he
too
wasn't.
many.
They wanted to. They expressed that he was wrong for it, and he's done more to redeem himself for that ever since.
He
Like,
beat
they
the
actually
shit out of his-
expressed-
He woke up, took a drink, and said, "Hey, what's up, Brianna? Call me Chris Brown."
Okay, Chris Brown did a lot worse than just a single punch. He did it.
Dude, you know
like,
why he got all those
Have
tattoos
you,
on his
have
arm?
you read
Those,
this? Have you read the police report for Chris Brown?
Yeah. Do you know why he got all those tattoos on his arm? Those are fucking button combos. For the next time he sees her,
Yeah.
he gonna pull a Mortal Kombat combo on her, dude. Hit her ass with an X-ray.
Like, look, the difference is Hank did it one time and immediately, like, he showed regret. They showed, yes, he was wrong for it. He did everything he could to redeem himself for it
Stop trying to
afterwards.
justify Hank Pym.
Like, he made a
Isn't
mistake
he
and he actually
schizophrenic?
stopped.
In the comics?
Yeah, well, he's bipolar.
Oh, okay.
He goes through a series of depressing mood swings. That was the whole part of his character. And as I said, like he did more than enough to redeem himself ever since he stopped doing that kind of shit. You can see, so like, it's like, yeah, it was horrible, but like at the very least he changed. He put in the effort to change, unlike a lot of other people that don't change, and all that happened. Like,
You're right.
yeah. Like, I'm not saying domestic abuse is okay. I'm just saying that,
One
like,
tutor ass.
when he.
Yeah, anyway,
All I'm saying is that, like,
Ant-Man 1.
F.
What did you say?
I don't like the Ant-Man movies, man.
The first one was great.
They're so
though.
boring. I like heist movies. I love
think-
Ocean's 11.
I
I cannot
think,
get into this movie though.
I think Ant-Man 1, I can't really like. I liked it. I can't really decide if I liked it or if I loved it. So I'm mixed between B and A, like somewhere between
I think
S
it's a B
tier,
and A.
A tier, and B tier.
Antonia?
Like,
I
can
give it
s-
a B. I give it a B.
B plus, like a high B.
I would give it a high B, A minus.
Yeah.
Because Grandmaster Nick has to be such a hater, we'll put it in B. Hater, dude. Absolutely. Did you drink your Haterade today?
Yeah, actually, I got my
Oh, your chalky milk?
Avengers: Infinity War. That goes in God
It's not a
tier.
God. It doesn't. If you guys argue it's not a God tier movie, it's the best. MCU
Infinity
movie.
War is God tier.
God tier.
Yes.
It's. I'd say it's the absolute. It's like behind. Like really top. The only one that can compare is No Way Home. I think Infinity War was fundamentally better than Endgame. I think like it did a lot. It had a lot to it. The amount of weight and impact it had. Still, like it. Even though it was undone, we like watching that in theaters. That hit. That
It was
hit
a
really
realization
fucking
that
hard.
holy shit, they did it. They went
You
through.
know,
Yeah.
now that I'm thinking about it, kind of want to put it in A tier. Only because of
Hold on.
what they did to
I'm just
Thor.
gonna do better. Just
Only because of what they did to Thor. They completely reversed all of his character development from Ragnarok.
I highly disagree. I think that they actually.
No.
I
I think.
I think they actually expanded upon it a lot more. So let's see. You have a character. You have a character who got reinvented in Ragnarok. He had to make that ultimate sacrifice and lose his home, and then he could not save his people. They got wiped away, and then the half that already got wiped out by Thanos on the ship was wiped out again with the snap happened. That all that stuff happened. He lost his mother, his father, his brother, his best friend. He had to kill. He had to let his sister fucking or his sister take over just for them to destroy his home, his entire realm. He has lost everything.
Yeah. I agree.
Everything. The fact that he was able to pull back in the very end, he wasn't able to go through because his cockiness got to him, and he had to learn from that in Endgame that he can't be cocky anymore. He can't be the Thor that he used to. He has to be an actual like person. He can't just fuck around like he used to.
Ragnarok,
that
he learns that he doesn't need the hammer to be his
But
like,
he's still
best
over
self.
cocky.
and then
Yeah.
they go and
Yeah.
give him a new hammer, and it's like
Like the fact that like in all of Infinity War, he's like he has this ballsy attitude that all he needs to do is go and get a new weapon, and suddenly he can just kill Thanos. And sure enough, he does actually do that. But you get the point where but Thanos still gets him because he's just a tiny bit too cocky that he doesn't go for the head or doesn't go for the arm, or just like there were so many ways that he could that could have gone right for Thor, but it didn't.
Like the
'Cause, like,
whole
he would-
point was like he's not the god of hammers. He's the god
Yeah.
of thunder. He doesn't need a hammer to increase
I mean,
his
against
power.
Thanos-
But you need an axe made of the
Thanos.
same metal that can handle the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
Thor may be the god of hammers, but we saw what happened the first time they fought. He got his ass kicked, and that was with one stone. Now you have a
Yeah.
Thanos with all 6 stones.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm with Jacob. I'd say it's clearly God tier.
I think I get where you're coming from about the whole hammer thing, but I also think that it plays off of the Thor that we had in Ragnarok really well, and it also shifted his character again. Like, if you want to argue that Endgame ruined Thor because of his like how he got fat and shit, I would
Not at all.
somewhat agree, but I also think that that's like he's depressed.
I think
Yeah.
I think it's not so much that what they did was bad. It's more of that it was kind of it was a turn in a way that nobody really would hope for. Like, you would hope that he would rise above, but instead he had to take a step lower.
Like, I was expecting
It
him
still
to go
works,
full
and
on
it still-
Ultra Instinct Goku type shit after he lost his Mjolnir in Infinity War, and then like, I didn't expect him to just get a new hammer and that'd be the end of
Yeah.
it. I thought there would be some more growth there for Thor, not just, hey, let's go build a new weapon to kill this dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think overall, I think it's still God tier. It's God tier.
It's definitely like a Chekhov's gun kind of thing, and I don't like that.
Okay,
MacGuffin.
that's fair.
MacGuffin slash Chekhov's gun.
Yeah, like a Deus Ex Machina.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, that I get you on that. I get it.
Yeah.
Age of Ultron. I think it's the most overhated move in the MCU.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I'd say Captain Marvel is overhated in the sense that it's not necessarily dog shit, but it's not good. Like, it's not good, but it's not like
The definition of mediocre.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah,
Captain
I would
Marvel's
say, like,
mediocre.
a B minus.
But Age of Ultron, I'd say I want to give it an A because I did still like it. I enjoyed it, but like
I give it a high
I feel
B.
like it was good, but considering it was an Avengers movie, it just being good wasn't really enough. Like, it wasn't. It's definitely quality wise the least the lesser of the 4 Avengers movies we have.
I definitely think Ultron is one of the stronger villains in
Yeah,
the MCU.
absolutely. I think
of the better
James
ones.
Spader does a great performance as Ultron. I really found him engaging.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that he's a robot, he felt the most human. He kind of felt like the most human villain out of all of the villains we've
I
had in
was
the
just
MCU.
I was just disappointed of like how he just like ended. Like, that was very anticlimactic to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well, I'm also pissed that What If didn't use James Spader for the voice. That's like that should be the embodiment of Ultron. Like,
they
he
did that
just
with a lot of
nailed.
the characters. Like, they didn't bring back some of the original actors.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
Yeah.
because they needed permission, but yeah, some losses were unfortunate, like in the What If series. I guess, like, what are we all saying?
B tier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not really strong on where it goes in B tier, but
I would say
Yeah, just
high
B.
B tier.
yeah,
Better than
Yeah, high
Ant-Man,
B.
better than the Punisher.
yeah.
I just wish they would have they portrayed him as this scary, this intelligence that is getting out of hand, and then how it ended with him. I was like, really? That was it? Like, that's
Yeah.
it? You know? Like,
Yeah.
I kind of think, like, really, when you look back, there is a fair amount of impact you might actually like. There is a little bit of impact that goes unnoticed. That's because of Age of Ultron, like in the current MCU, where like it really like the weight is there. It's just like a lot of the weight and the meaning behind the movie gets overlooked or unnoticed.
no. I've definitely noticed some things in current MCU movies and stuff that like they pointed out. I have a friend who like does like breakdowns of things, and he pointed out something, and it was like, oh yeah, okay, I can see it.
Yeah. So next up, Cloak and Dagger. That's shit tier.
I didn't even see it. I just saw the
If I
trailer
have
and I'm like,
shit tier.
what is this? Is this
It's
some
shit
like
tier.
Edward Bella
Dove
kind of
Cameron
thing?
though, she's pretty hot.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, but it's still shit tier.
That's fair.
And we need a shit tier.
that's
shit
actually
tier.
fair. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I've seen. At least one of us has seen every. Fuck you.
All right.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel. dog shit.
See,
I'd say
I-
D tier, like D
I
tier.
actually I think it's the perfect definition of mediocre. Like,
Well, that's
it
the
had
thing, like, it's
hype
mediocre.
moments that had me excited.
Like, I think it's mediocre, and so like in that sense, like it's not terrible like a lot of other MCU movies, but it's just mediocre. And given the time it was released, I think it was misplaced, especially in terms of where it should be. Like, we shouldn't have gotten it in between Infinity War and Endgame, because then it overhyped it. It made it seem like it gave us the expectations of Captain Marvel's being extremely crucial to Endgame, even though she wasn't all that important. I think it could have done better anywhere but the time it was released.
I
like
don't care
it.
for it.
Like, it was like I didn't mind it. I thought it was all right in what it was trying to say, but it wasn't. I don't think it was particularly good at all.
Jude
See,
Law as a villain made me just cringe.
That's fair.
The
I think you
entire
were
time,
supposed to
like,
feel that way though. You were
Really?
supposed to cringe with him.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think like one of the good parts about there was three aspects I think that were good about the movie. Nick Fury, Talos, if that's his name, the Australian Skrull, and Goose the Flurkin.
Oh yeah,
He's not a cat though, so I'm allowed to like him because he's a Flurkin.
I don't know, cause like I'm a huge fan of Nick Fury from the comics, and
Yeah.
like, sure, like he was good in this one, but like he definitely could have been better.
Yeah.
Like, my favorite Nick Fury is the one from Original Sin. That one, whew, he fucks people up. I wish
Yeah.
they would bring that into the MCU, the Original Sin. It would be amazing.
That's me with Elektra in the comic I have right now in the series. And Nick Fury's in it, and he actually recruits her. And I'm like, see, that's what we need. That's what we need.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what series that is. I feel like that was.
I can't think of it on the top of my head. I have it, but it's sealed away. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
I'd be okay with like high D tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, D tier. I'd say D tier, like, but not necessarily.
I like it a lot more than Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because comedy-wise too, I genuinely thought it was like hilarious. I loved, like, it was cool to see Nick Fury more out of his like comfort zone, and not so like what we see now. I mean, he's funny now, but like just
Yeah.
even more so out of his comfort zone, like in the movie.
mhm.
So let's see. We've got Captain America: First Avenger. I'm
Not
gonna
gonna lie.
say
being absolutely slept on.
I think
I really like it.
I'd say high B. High B.
No, I'd say A. I love
I
it.
say high A. Thank
Yeah,
you.
A.
Thank you.
Well,
High
no,
A.
I think Captain America. Actually, Captain America: Winter Soldier belongs in S tier, but
Now, Captain America 1 is an absolute banger of a movie. A great historical World War II movie. Great
Yeah.
characters. Great fucking portrayal of how, like, Captain America was. Like, yeah, it's super, like, comic-y and over-dramatic, but that's who he was, especially when the comics were coming out during World War II.
Mhm.
That's Captain America.
my only particular issue I have, which is not really of the single movie, but of more of the MCU's portrayal of Captain America, is I feel like it's way too shallow on Cap, where like I think like with the comics, Captain America comics go extremely deep on the aspect of Cap having PTSD from all this shit. Like he still dreams about the battles, about losing Bucky. You see how much it actually impacts him, like, and how everything that happens, it's still overwhelming to him to this day. Even if it's been years since he woke up from the ice, it's like I think the only issue
You
with
wanted
that
Captain
is just a
America to have
consistent.
PTSD.
That's what he has in the comics.
Okay,
he's
but in the
extremely-
comics, he also used to work for Hydra. He also did a bunch of bad things. We're not trying to like compare them to their comic book counterparts.
Yeah,
Because if
we
but
were to
there are
do that for
certain
every
aspects of
character-
the character that are.
I was gonna
more
say, because
like-
if we're gonna do that for every character, we better bring up how in Iron Man, he took his own brain tumor and turned into a living child.
See, I think this is a great point.
Yes.
Is that this is a completely separate universe from the comic books,
Yeah.
and I don't think people realize that enough.
No.
Well, I think
Yeah.
it's more of like well, it's one thing when you remove all the unfavorable aspects of a character in the comics, but another thing when you don't try to bring in some aspects that I think are good about the characters in the comics, and instead you give us something that's not real, that leaves a lot to be desired, which is what I felt like Cap as a character. I feel like Cap as a character had a lot to be
aspect with fucking Iron Man in Iron Man 3 with his anxiety and post-traumatic stress disorder after the Battle of New York and Avengers.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
like you gotta think about it like this.
different-
Captain America, he possibly has his own PTSD and his own issues and stuff that he has to fight with because of what he had to do during either World War II or even after coming out of the ice. But he's also a symbol. He's a symbol of America. He's a symbol of freedom.
But that's all the more reason he has the PTSD and why he pushes himself so much. It's not like he pushes himself beyond what his body is even capable of. You can see in the comics how he pushes himself to help people out beyond his own well-being and mental health. Like he doesn't do it for his health. He refuses to simply sit down and relax. He wants to help people, even if that means giving up his own life, doing things that really are bad for his mentality in the long term. And I think that's it's most suiting for that aspect of Captain America, for what fits perfectly with Endgame and what he's like at the end, where he finally decides to relax because this is a Captain America, because the comic book Captain America is one that just refuses to take a break or rest. Because he pushes himself past the healthy boundaries of saving people.
So A tier.
It's still A tier.
Yeah.
I'd say high B, but A tier. But you can say A tier.
I say high A personally, but I'm also inherently biased because I love Captain America.
I
love the
really
way
like
they
this
portray
movie
the MCU.
too. I would
Yeah.
also say high A tier.
Yeah. I have nothing
Alright.
against it.
Oh, dude, right next to his honey, dude. He's looking right at her. And he's like, oh, look at that dick. She's like, look at them titties.
Oh man.
It was meant to be.
All right, what's next?
Still Winter Soldier, not even a competition. I'm sorry, God.
God. Wait, what? We need an S tier and a God.
No.
S tier.
See,
There's
okay,
S
so this is where the filmmaker in me comes out. I spent like 3 years in a
So,
film course
let me be
in
clear.
college. This movie, I hate it. The colors are muted as fuck.
Well,
There's
that's because that's the
literally
Russo
no
brothers in
substance.
general. That's
Yeah,
the
Ru-
Russo
the
brothers
Ru-
with their whole
Oh,
color
okay,
palette.
it's not the Russo brothers in general, because if you ever watch Community, they never made, whenever
Yeah.
they directed episodes, they didn't make it like that. But I think the reason they went for that color spectrum is because it's a spy thriller. It's meant to be gloomy
Well, yeah,
and gray
But it
shadow.
only
'Cause you gotta
works
think,
in that
we're
one
supposed-
movie.
in the very beginning of the movie, it's nice and bright. Like in the beginning, it's dark because they're at night, but like during the
Yeah.
daytime, it's nice and colorful because he's full of optimism and stuff. But as he
like-
starts to question as soon as he starts to question the government or Shield in general, things start to become more gray and gloomy.
Well,
until
to
it's
my
revealed
point, like,
that
it only
Hydra has
works
been
for that one
inside of
movie,
Shield this
but
whole
they-
time.
But the Russo brothers do it in every other movie, and it doesn't belong in every other movie. It doesn't belong in Infinity War, Endgame, or Civil War. That's not a colored scheme that works for those movies. It should be bright and colorful, but it's dull and
But the thing
unengaging
is,
in
is
the
like,
others.
if you
Like
look
in
at the
Winter
Batman,
Soldier, like it works in Winter Soldier because of the spy movie aspect. Like that is fine, but as I said, like I put it as S tier because they're in Washington D.C. Yet there's barely any fucking traffic. Like, have you seen? There is no
You're really
reason
thinking about
that
traffic.
Winter Soldier should be able to walk freely onto the middle of the street and then shoot Nick Fury down, and then he takes out literally no one on his way down.
You are
Down to the
bitching
ground.
about
He should be
traffic.
taking at least. There should be at least 6 other cars he takes out with him in that fall. Because
You are
that's what
bitching
DC
about
is like.
traffic.
Okay.
I
in a
lived in
Marvel
DC
movie
for
where they
5
have
years.
the
That's what
ability
it's
to
like
take a
sunrise to
vitamin that
sundown.
stops their heartbeat.
listen,
There's
Look
no
at the
traffic
Batman.
in that
The
movie,
Batman
and it's
is the one-
unrealistic. I refuse. That's the only thing keeping it from God tier is the lack of traffic in that movie. Every time I watch that with my dad, we're always calling out the fact that
Hey,
it has no traffic.
John
despite
and
being in the
I
middle
are
of DC.
completely different. I want that to be noted.
Dude, John, you fucking suck, dude. Like you're
Where's the fucking traffic? They're in Washington D.C.
who gives a shit?
I lived there for 5
there's
years.
a Nazi group running America's #1 task force and defense force in the fucking country. You worried about
What?
traffic?
Yeah, because that's unrealistic. There is no universe out there where DC has no traffic. That is a Nexus event in and of itself.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know what else is unrealistic?
That's a
perfect
Nexus
alien
event.
having some gems wiping away half the universe because he's emo. That's
That was supposed
unrealistic.
to happen. That was supposed to happen according to the TVA.
You know what
No,
else is supposed to happen?
trafficless DC
You know what else is
is
supposed to
not
happen
supposed
according
to
to the TVA? No traffic. Shut up.
This got
That's
out
the-
of hand. I just
DC
wanted to
no
say that I
traffic.
don't like the color palette in this
Listen,
movie.
Nick, I value your critique 1,000 times more than this stupid fuck.
Where's the fucking traffic? There's no reason it should be that fucking empty.
You're taking a movie out of God tier, not because of its story, acting, color scheme, cinematography, choreography.
There
but
is
because
no
there's not
reason
big cars
why
on
he
the
should
road
be able
in
to
one
walk
scene.
onto the
Shut up.
street.
Shut
He's
up.
getting hit by a
You're
fucking
stupid now.
car.
Shut up. Shut up.
With
There's no
that
reason
being said, my
That
break
Nick
has
Fury
ended,
isn't
so
taking
I have
out
to
a
go.
single car on his way to the
Bye.
ground.
Oh man.
Well, it was
No.
lovely meeting you two.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you too.
Oh yeah, we're sorry that we just started yelling over each other.
No, it's actually entertaining. I'm the oldest child, so I have like trauma from like yelling, so I just get quiet. So I'm just
Yeah.
like, this is interesting. This is entertaining. This is cool.
We just yell at each other over nerd shit.
Yeah.
Hey, that's better than that's way better. But yeah, thanks for having me, you guys.
Yeah, no
Good
problem.
luck.
Anytime.
Good luck.
I'm gonna need it. Thank
Take
you.
care of yourself.
Bye, guys.
Oh, you're good
Glad
at
to have you on
Yeah.
for as much as we could.
Thank you for the invite. Thank you. Seriously. Have
No
a great
problem.
night, you guys.
You too.
Too. Listen,
Alright.
all I'm saying is that look at the Batman. The Batman is one of the darkest and grittiest Batman movies that we've had in a long time, and its color palette is immaculate.
Yeah, I
There's
agree.
no reason that this movie needed that muted color palette.
Yeah, because like I mean, there isn't even like an absolute black in that particular color
I don't want to
palette.
hear your critique anymore. You're gonna bitch about the fucking traffic again. There wasn't
Yeah,
enough
because it's
lighting
the-
in this traffic scene where there was no cars.
It's DC. There should always be traffic. That's what DC is built around that shit. You don't go to DC and not see traffic.
Who gives a fuck that there's not 6 cars
It's
on the road?
unrealistic. That's
There
a
was-
Nexus event.
There was a Nazi organization working within the United States government, manipulating the masses, building up an entire group of people so that they could systematically wipe out because if they were going to pose any threat, they would know. They were manipulating the whole world. And you're bitching about some cars in a road.
That
Shut up.
sounds like
about it being
the
unrealistic.
Republican and Democratic Party. That's just the two-party system for you. They're both Nazis trying to take.
Yeah, I don't want
do
to hear
that
it
shit.
anymore, dude. We're moving on. We're moving on. Fucking Winter Soldier. Where are we putting it? God tier.
Dog
I'm fine.
shit. Dog shit.
Civil War. Using my veto.
No
Dog tier.
fucking stakes. Veto. Dog shit.
I'm using my veto.
I'm using
This
my
is-
veto to say dog shit.
This is one
Yeah.
movie that I haven't seen.
Dog
You
shit.
can't use. You can't use my veto. You can't use your veto to counteract my veto.
I already have no. I already hated that movie. You knew I hated that movie. Dog shit movie.
I use my veto for God tier.
I use my veto for dog shit.
We've seen reach an impasse. I think it's an S tier movie. In all seriousness, though, I think it's
Dog.
S tier.
I think it's dog shit.
Johnsky, you keep comparing it to the fucking comic.
Because it doesn't have any stakes. The movie has no stakes. Nothing was
Maybe they're
personal.
vegetarian.
Literally, Clint and Natasha, while fighting, were like, "Oh yeah, this isn't personal, right?" No, of course not. It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you fighting for then? You're acting like the Avengers broke up. No, they fucking didn't. They didn't care about the fact that they were fighting. It was no hard feelings. They were all cool with each other at the end. The only ones that hated each other were Tony and Cap. And even then, that's barely
Were the
barely
leaders of
scraping
their
the
own
surface of
respective,
what a
or
good
were the
Civil
leaders
War
of their
movie
own
could be.
respective groups.
There is no. They didn't hate each other. They resolved their problems off screen. Any problems that they did have, it's like, oh, they're out. They're on the run. Doesn't mean shit. They're still working together. They literally fucking work together. Black Widow
though.
goes to help out Falcon and Bucky. Literally,
First off-
Vision helps them out. They all just fucking stay together.
First off, they didn't
Anyway.
stay together. The first time Cap or Tony reached out to Cap at all was because Thanos was showing up.
He wasn't going to do that anyway. He had no way of doing that. He wasn't even in New York at the time. What was he supposed to do? He was in the
He
middle
had
of
the
fucking
fucking
Germany.
phone. He whipped out the phone to call him, and then
What
I
do you
don't know.
think they were
the fucking
fucking
Ebony
doing?
Maw
What do you
showed
think
up.
Cap was doing? He was all the way on another continent. Do you think that was actually going to fucking help?
He's
On
gonna-
the spot, motherfucker? That's not helping. Cap, even if Cap got the call, he'd be too busy. And we know Tony doesn't do that shit. We see him multiple times he gets attacked by shit and he doesn't bother calling anyone. He thinks he can handle his own problems.
And then this is a situation he knows he can't handle.
He didn't even try asking for Doctor Strange for help. He didn't want his help.
They
He
literally
literally
started
tried to-
fighting together at the same time.
He refused to let anyone help him. He's like, "No, go away. Get that thing away from here." You're not
Spider-Man!
engaging."
Dude, he was literally.
They didn't
asking for-
want him there. He literally tried to fucking shove him out of the
No, he
fucking
didn't.
ship with
He
the
said,
parachute.
He said, "Kid, what are you doing here?" Because he was shocked that Spider-Man showed up out of nowhere. Oh, I don't know. Remember when he was asking the Hulk to help?
That's the only person that actually mattered to him because they're both fucking scientists that work together.
An
That's the
example of
only one that
multiple
ever
times he
fucking
does. You
helps
say
him.
that was the only
He's the-
time.
Hulk is the only one he ever actively goes to for help in the MCU.
Oh, Johnsky, I'm using my goddamn veto. It's staying in
I'm
there.
using my veto to say shit tier. It's dog shit.
Then it's gonna have to. Then we're gonna have to even it out. We're gonna have to put it in C tier.
Fine.
I'm sorry I can't like add anything to this.
How have you not? You gotta watch Civil War, dude. You
No.
gotta watch this. We can get your opinion on it.
I will.
really hope you
I will
hate
try
it.
and watch it. I
It's a
have
banger
2
of a
days
movie,
off.
dude.
We can have a watch along. We can have a watch along where I can talk.
I don't want
trash
to have a
about it.
watch along with you, Johnsky. You're gonna be bitching and complaining the whole time about traffic. Shut up.
It's
Shut up.
don't get me
Daredevil.
started on that shit.
Love
A-tier-
season 1.
A-tier at
Haven't cared to
most.
watch the rest.
S tier. This was one that. This is the best Netflix show.
Even season 1, I
don't
love
know.
it.
I
I
want
would
to say, like, I think
put S.
I am fine with saying S tier, but I think A tier personally, just because, like,
Because what? You just said, eh.
well, because season 2 was kind of just all over the place after the first half. Like, the Punisher was interesting in the movie, at least because of his aspect of how he's arguing with Daredevil. Like, that whole argument was fucking amazing because you see how Frank is portrayed in the Netflix TV series, which I think is a little bit more interesting. That's right. Like, so season 2 was kind of just eh.
I
But
like
the-
the whole.
but the other
I like
two-
when they-
the other-
I like it when they focus on him being a lawyer, like when he was Matt Murdock and not just.
Yeah,
Daredevil,
which is what I hated about, which is another thing that I think is minor, but I don't really like, is that we don't get a lot of that in the show. I really wish we got some more of that aspect of Matt being a lawyer. So I can say I can settle with S tier, but in my mind, it's A tier.
Doctor Strange 1.
I'd say A
That one
tier.
either.
A tier.
What'd you say, Nick?
I haven't seen it either. I've seen like clips of the
Yeah,
visuals.
I
I love the visuals. I love the
I agree.
colors. It's an interesting movie
See,
to
he
look at.
understands.
I would
Uh,
definitely pick the 8 tier movie.
I'd say A
That's
tier.
fair.
I don't think it's S tier, but I think I think it was really good. I think when you really watch it over and over again, you see how well everything plays out. Like, there's a lot of details sprinkled in there. Once you watch it over and over again, like once you watch it a second time, those details really start adding on to each other, and like it's a really good movie. I think really well
Shut up,
paced
John.
out. It's a really good. I think it's pretty good.
Shut your fucking mouth.
A tier.
Okay, Endgame.
See, I like Infinity War more.
Infinity War was a better
Yeah.
movie than Endgame.
Yeah.
I'm stuck between God tier and S tier. I think you could argue either one.
I
I
think
would say low S tier.
yeah, it needs to be below
No
Infinity
God.
War.
I would say better than The Winter Soldier. I would say
Yeah.
No Way Home is better though.
Yeah,
I'm happy with that
absolutely.
placement right there. Yeah.
I'm fine with
Yeah.
that.
Because like it's better than Winter Soldier, but I don't think it's better than No Way Home. But I also, like I understand it's an Avengers movie, but I think Infinity War was a better Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Okay, Homecoming, banger of a movie. I'm tired of people hating on it.
Yeah.
A tier, maybe S tier. Like
I think
you,
it was a
if
good
you-
start.
I would
If
say
you
I
can
would
give a
say
good, if you can
Homecoming
give a
is
good
S
argument for
tier.
S tier.
I would say Homecoming is S tier. No Way Far From Home is A tier.
Yeah, I
Sure.
could
I
agree with
prefer
that. Because they
I prefer
hold out
Far
my
From
boy
Home a little
Mysterio.
bit more, but I'd say I'm fine with that. Like you could, yeah, S tier, A tier for Far From Home.
I would say better than Daredevil. But the thing is, I would say this goes into high A tier for the sole purpose that they hold out my boy Mysterio. I grew up
Yeah.
watching the original animated show that my grandma used to record on VHSs for me whenever I'd go over there. And dude, I love Mysterio.
Yeah.
I know he's like a E tier villain. Everyone thinks
Yeah.
he's a fucking joke. Everyone makes fun of his fishbowl helmet. I love it. I love Mysterio.
The thing is,
Hold him out.
what irritates
They
me is how many
hold
people
out my
hate on
boy
this
Mysterio.
movie. I hate how people
I-
hate on this movie so much because it's actually really like I think it's a really good movie. It's really interesting how they do it. Like that's why I'd say like it has to be at least A tier. People hate on this movie for no fucking reason. It's not like Amazing Spider-Man 2 level bad, but so many people put Far From Home at the bottom of their list. Like, bitch, you're saying
Unpopular
you're just
opinion.
fucking biased.
Unpopular opinion. Amazing Spider-Man 2 wasn't bad.
I fucking hated that movie.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but you also hate good movies for dumb reasons. So
See,
And
I
you
think
like bad movies for dumb reasons.
This Peter Parker shouldn't have been Peter Parker. I think it should have been Miles Morales. I feel like Miles Morales fits this version of Spider-Man a lot better.
Yeah.
What do you
Far
mean
From
by
Home?
that?
I think
Because
Far From Home
I
is
thought-
actually in.
I thought
No, I-
this Peter Parker was like the
Yeah.
perfect embodiment of my vision of Peter Parker.
See, I
Yeah,
feel like
I
that
think
as
it-
well.
Here's the thing, because there's a guy that I follow on YouTube. His name is Totally Not Mark. I don't know if you guys have ever watched him before,
Mhm.
but he had actually never watched any of the Spider-Man movies, except for one time he saw the Spider-Man movie, like the original Spider-Man trilogy, as a kid with his dad. But it had been like 20 or something years since he'd seen it. So what he did is he went back and he reviewed every single trilogy. He does a lot of analysis on like animes like Dragon Ball, One Piece, Hunter x
Yeah.
Hunter, Jojo. He did a fantastic work. He went back and he was talking. He read a bunch of comics beforehand. He just got done reviewing every Batman movie. So if you're like the Batman, you should definitely go watch those videos. But when he was going through, the original Raimi trilogy, he pointed out when he went back and read some of the comics, the way that Peter Parker acted in the Sam Raimi movies was nothing like the Peter Parker from the comics. The Peter
Yeah.
Parker from the comics is very anxious, and he is like, the best way to describe it is he's a bully if he had the chance to be one. If he had the ability to be a bully, he would have been a bully. He like, and they kind of shifted that away to like him being more nerdy and being more like optimistic about the world when he was in high school, and then towards his college years is when we really start to see the tone of the Peter Parker that like we all know. But I
Yeah.
thought that Homecoming and Far From Home depicted what a high school Peter Parker would feel
Yeah.
like.
That's
To me,
fair.
that-
Yeah,
that-
I agree.
He's
I
he's very optimistic, because like think about it like this. In his world, because in every other Spider-Man movie we've seen, he's the only superhero. But in this universe, there are other superheroes. There is already a
Yeah.
foundation for what it means to be a superhero, what it means to be a hero. And the world glorifies Iron Man, the Avengers, and Captain
Yeah,
America,
absolutely.
Black Widow, and stuff. They glorify these people, and he wants to be like that. Not for the sense that he wants to be famous, but because he feels that optimism of trying to help people, and he wants to do good, and he knows that like he doesn't want anything to happen to other people like what happened to him with Uncle Ben. So he's very optimistic and outgoing, which I see in those movies. But towards the end of No Way Home, when he gives everything up, he goes to college, and he has that darker outlook on life, but he still wants to keep that optimism. That's the Peter Parker that
Yeah.
I see, that we see in the comics now.
Mhm.
I think
But I
with
thought-
Far From Home, I like it because I think it's a little bit interesting. Like you can have Peter Parker and he's a heroic. He feels like that. Yeah, great power comes great responsibility. That doesn't necessarily mean he can't take a break from being Spider-Man once in a while and just go on vacation. And I think that's kind of what it shows with this movie, with Far From Home. How he wants to take a vacation, like he needs a break once in a while, but he. No matter how hard he tries, he can't escape from being Spider-Man. It's clearly shown, like that whole vacation is set up for him to be Spider-Man. Like he can't get a break, yet he goes with it anyway. Like he complies with it eventually. And like he makes a few poor decisions along the way in that movie, but it does end up biting him in the ass, and that's kind of where I think people try to dismiss him, claiming that he hasn't had to deal with any responsibility leading up to No Way Home because he was supposedly bailed out of situations. I'm like, no, his identity was revealed. Not to mention his friends and loved ones were threatened in the first two movies. Like their well-being was at stake in both of those movies because the villain threatened them. They knew his identity. They were ready to attack. They were ready to go after his loved ones if he tried to interfere. I think this movie deserves an A tier. See,
I think my whole shtick is that we didn't need a high school Peter Parker, especially for me because I like the college Peter Parker a ton more. He's got way more interesting problems dealing with like money issues, whereas this Peter Parker doesn't have to worry about money issues. He's set up by Tony Stark the entire way through. Yeah, I don't know. I think
that's true.
Personally, Miles Morales is a better high school Peter Parker than actual
I will
high
agree
school
with
Peter
you.
Parker.
I agree with you on that. 110%. Yeah. Miles Morales is arguably a better Spider-Man than Peter Parker is.
Yeah.
Like, I love Miles.
Yeah,
but here's my thing. What you just said there about how Peter Parker has more interesting stories of him struggling with money and stuff when he's in college, and he didn't have to worry about that because, of course, he had Tony Stark now. Far From Home and No Way Home, he had no Iron Man. He had no one to fund him, so he had to start funding himself and really come into his own. And then at the end of No Way Home, when he gives up everything, he gives up his friends, he lost his Aunt May, he lost any sort of acquaintances that were linked to the Avengers. None of the Avengers remember him. Yeah. None of the Tony's technology, his Iron Spider suit, he can't get into the suit anymore because it doesn't recognize him. It doesn't recognize Spider-Man. It doesn't recognize Peter Parker. He gave up everything. So we're still, because we already know there's gonna be another 3 movies. So we're gonna get we're gonna get another 3 movies of him struggling to go through college and have his money and like how to balance life. But I think you're gonna enjoy it more because we saw him have everything and then lose everything. Yeah. And now we're gonna have to watch him struggle to gain everything back.
Yeah.
I think because if you're looking for that, I think the next trilogy we're gonna get that. I think it's gonna have a better payoff. And I also think Miles is gonna get added. I want them to
I'd say that I think I enjoy the aspect. Because Tom Holland's Peter Parker does make plenty of mistakes in all 3 of his movies, and I think
that's Peter Parker though.
Yeah, it's Peter Parker, and at the end of the day, even as a teenager, we see how even as a teenager he is a little bit immature. He's a little bit naive and inexperienced, but he's still, at the end of the day, he accepts the consequences for his actions, which isn't a big decision. That's more than just an adult decision. Many people very few people out there would be willing to do exactly what Peter did, because that's a lot. Yet he did it anyway because that was the right thing to do, and he knew it was the right thing. He was willing to sacrifice.
Yeah, Peter Parker's willing to make the sacrifice that people
even as a teenager
won't do, and he no matter how many times he fucks up, he still wants to keep that pure heart and good intention in his heart.
Yeah.
I think for me that's what makes Spider-Man stand out so much more than most heroes in Marvel and in DC. Like Spider-Man really be sticking to his gut.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Enough of the Spider-Man talk, guys. We're going to just do a Spider-Man tier list. Wait, Peter Parker does no longer have the Social Security. Does the government not remember him? Is he no longer a citizen? I don't think they have any memories of him. I think that legally he still exists.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone
remembers they still have memories of Spider-Man.
Interactions with him.
They still clearly remember Spider-Man, and it seems that they still know that Spider-Man is still accused of everything that happened in London back when Mysterio attacked. It's just that they don't know it's Peter Parker now. Mm-hmm. He's still blamed. I think the Avengers know of. They've worked with Spider-Man. They don't.
Any interactions that they had with Peter Parker has been null and void.
Yeah.
And of course, we were going to bring up, what about any pictures and shit, bro? It's just anytime you look into magic in any sort of movie, you just forget about it.
And also the fact that you think about it, the only ones Ned, MJ, and Aunt May. Aunt May was dead. Like Happy, yes. I don't. Okay, yeah. What? But you think you get the point? Like there were very few people that even really knew him well enough to have those pictures or whatever, except for Stark was dead.
Yeah, Stark's
Tony
dead.
Stark was dead. Yeah, he had the photo, but that's. I'm sure everyone will just see that and see that it's just a regular intern boy. If anything,
I
Like,
just
people-
take it as
just
I think
imagine-
any memorable interaction with Peter Parker has just now is null and void. No one remembers him.
I like to think that if Pepper or his daughter, Tony's daughter, will look at that photo and just ask who that. Well, Tony's daughter will ask Pepper who that kid is, and Pepper will have no clue. Just say like he's just some intern Tony had for something. Not knowing who he actually is, but the picture still exists.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Okay, so Guardians of the Galaxy.
God tier.
Guys of S tier.
I'd be happy with S tier. I don't think it's quite up there with God tier. I think it's quite the Marvel.
No, I'd say Volume 2 is S tier. Guardians 1 is
No.
God tier.
I would
I mean,
say
they're
the
both-
Guardians 2
Yeah.
is like meh compared to the first one for me.
Well,
I love
okay.
Guardians 2 so
Uh,
much.
May compared to the first one, I can sort of agree in the sense I think the first was still better, but no, Guardians 2 was still compared to every other Marvel movie. It's fucking amazing.
I don't know.
It's a
They
very
introduced
interesting
like Peter's like powers, and then it just felt like a MacGuffin, and I didn't roll with me.
I mean, I can see that because like that's not who Star-Lord is in the comics at all.
Yeah.
He's just a human. His dad is some random junkie. Like in the
I'm happy with that.
Who? Star-Lord in
Yeah.
the comics?
S tier.
Star-Lord's dad is like a king of a planet, dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, he's a king of a planet, but he's like a king of a planet of assholes or something.
No, it's
Oh, he
the
was-
Warriors. Like he took over that planet for a bit when his dad was injured. He took over.
I remember his dad being like some weird.
I like Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I didn't like it more than Spider-Man Homecoming, but I like Guardians of the Galaxy more than Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah,
Yeah, fair enough.
Are we thinking here?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
It's
Yeah.
not up for
Dog
debate.
shit.
I
That's
haven't
dog
watched
It's
it,
not up for debate.
but like, I was super stoked because
Iron Man
the guy who
2
plays Ramsay Bolton in Game of Thrones is in this movie or in this
Yeah.
show, and I was really excited to see what he would do with it.
shit. Nothing.
But yeah,
Okay, Iron Man 2, arguably
that's
one of the
weird.
most overhated movies.
I want to say
have-
like it. I don't like. I remember liking it as a kid. I don't hate it anyway. I think it's the most rewatchable movie. I think it's
I love
like
it.
it's easy to watch and just follow along and understand.
I like Whiplash.
Yeah,
I don't have
Whiplash is
any
alright.
strong feelings over the entire Iron Man
Like yeah,
trilogy.
I think
They're okay.
B tier below Ant-Man.
I'd say below Punisher.
I don't think I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
below Punisher.
I think they all deserve to be above Ant-Man at least.
Oh my god, you are
Cause
fine.
that's better.
Wild. Iron Man 3. I love the portrayal of anxiety and PTSD because that's someone who suffers from that
Yeah,
quite frequently.
I think that
Quite
belongs
frequently. They
in A
nailed it,
tier.
dude. They
A tier.
nailed what it's like.
I think A tier. I think Iron Man 1 and 3 belong in A tier.
I would say low A tier. Hold on. I say
Yeah.
low A tier because the whole Mandarin twist. I did not
Yeah.
like it, especially because that the Mandarin is an Iron Man villain. But I did like the rest of the movie. I like
So
it a
I mean,
lot.
they did fix it. Like they fixed it up. They made it like it
Shang-Chi.
wasn't the real Mandarin.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fixed it up. I mean, so I can forgive. Like I think it's easily forgiven. Like it was known that like it wasn't the real Mandarin back like several years ago. Like a year or
Well,
so.
I
after the
know,
movie
but I'm
came out.
saying when I first watched it, I'm telling you how I felt when I wanted it in the theater.
Yeah,
I would say it's better than Agent Carter, but I don't think it's better than Doctor Strange or what.
yeah, I can agree with that.
Iron Man 1 goes.
Oh, that was-
arguably in
that-
top tier.
That was amazing. Like as a kid watching that shit, that movie was fucking fire.
I will
That
argue
was,
to the
like,
day I die that it's a god tier movie.
Like, if anything, that was probably one of the first actual superhero movies, like live action superhero movies, I genuinely watched as a kid when I was a kid. like I saw glimpses of Batman, of Tim Burton's Batman, and I don't think I watched Dark Knight until until I was like 11 or something, because it was R-rated. But Iron Man 1, that's like one of my first, and it was just amazing.
Nick, you're just
I don't have any strong feelings about these movies. I'm okay with whatever you guys are.
Like I agree,
really?
God
The
tier.
Iron
Yeah.
Man movies?
Pleasant memories back as a kid of just that movie being awesome. Loving that movie.
One of the
I'd
most
say for Black
overrated
Panther,
movies.
A tier. A tier. I wouldn't.
No.
A tier B.
It has
like-
no stakes. You know Black Panther's gonna come back to life somehow because he's in the ads for Infinity War.
Yeah, that's true. But still, I mean, well, we didn't really expect Black Panther to. I mean, you don't expect Iron Man or anyone to die in their own title movie. I think Black Panther. I think Black Panther tries a little too hard in some places, but overall, I enjoy the cultural aspects of the movie, especially the issues. Like with Killmonger, he is legitimate by birthright, but at the same time, he is still physically an outsider.
He's also an
not born in
extremist.
Wakanda, and an extremist. So you see a lot of different dynamics between like Wakandans, especially the Dora Milaje. Has mixed, like they don't necessarily agree with his actions, but they are there to serve the king, and he won the fair and square through combat, so they had no choice but to serve him.
I don't like the story. It's basically Lion King, and it just has no.
I think the cultural aspects of the movie, the what we see of that, how it ties into a lot of that stuff. I think how it ties into the MCU as a whole, really how it feels separate but also connected in the right way, I think makes it A tier. I don't think it's S tier or God tier, but it has some good aspects of the movie, especially Claw was still good when we saw him.
I'm mad that they killed Claw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same here.
Okay, Shang-Chi.
I'm vetoing this to God tier.
You don't even use your veto. I agree, 110%.
Above
That was good.
Captain America: Winter Soldier, exactly there.
Like
It
they
was
made
so good.
It is.
Yeah.
Great change of pace.
And like I was blown away by the fact that Marvel actually made some really good action sequences. Like you see a lot of fighting sequences, it's just people throwing each other out the walls and shit. But this was actually genuinely choreographed really well.
Well, the thing is like Shang-Chi gets his shit kicked in. Like, I remember watching this movie and being like, wow, this guy fights like he's Jackie Chan. If you watch Jackie Chan movies, like it's almost to that point, and I loved it.
Yeah, there were a lot of aspects I enjoyed about Kung Fu. Like I enjoy Kung Fu movies personally, and there were a lot of aspects, like there was clear inspiration from previous Kung Fu movies in this one. I really appreciate all the things that they put in there.
When I was watching through this for the first time, I was watching it in theaters. You know what scene stuck in my brain for like 3 weeks after?
What?
The scene where the Mandarin where he met his wife and they were doing that dance thing.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
that
beautiful.
was so well done.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was brilliant.
The
I loved it.
music, the cinematography was fantastic. And then, dude, Aquafina is so funny.
Yeah, I agree.
I love her so
Like,
much in that
there
movie.
was never a dull moment with her.
No, there was not. And I mean, like, I loved everything about that movie. That's
Yeah,
probably,
that-
in my opinion, in my personal top 5 best MCU movies, that's like number 4.
I also really love how the Mandarin uses the powers of the rings in such a different way than Shang-Chi does. Like Shang-Chi uses it as an extension of himself, whereas Mandarin kind of just like uses the rings.
For his power.
Period. Like for his power.
Yeah, like,
whereas,
I'd say my only real
he have powers, he just throws hands.
yeah.
Yeah, my only real complaint, if any, was that I don't like how the rings weren't actual physical rings on his fingers, because that's what they are in the comics. I don't like the reasoning. It's we don't want to make it like the Infinity Stones. I'm like, dude, I don't fucking
I'm
care.
not saying that. Listen, something my dad pointed out. Captain Marvel's never seen that before. No one has ever seen it. There's a being out there that rings belong on its fingers.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's
So
a big
in
one.
the comics,
It doesn't
in the
fit on a
comics,
human hand.
the rings
Stop
are
comparing them to the
rings are
comics,
very.
John. Eagle the Living Planet isn't a fucking celestial. They made him a celestial in the movies.
Yeah, he's. Not saying I necessarily agree with that, but
But I'm saying you gotta stop comparing it. You gotta stop comparing it to the comics. This is the
sometimes there are aspects of comics that work that shouldn't be changed.
Okay, I think it's a cool ass idea that we're possibly going to be getting more information on celestial beings and where the rings came from and its true power under its true user and its true owner.
Yeah.
There's so many the possibilities are open up. Like Wong didn't know what
Plus,
it was.
for all we know, maybe they
Marvel
could
didn't know
shrink
what it
size
was.
into
Like
physical
there's
rings.
some crazy shit they can go with that.
I will say, if I had any criticism, the CGI at the very beginning of the movie is a little sketchy, but they did need to save that for the finale.
The dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dragon
a
and all
pretty
the mythical creatures. I love those things.
And I guess maybe
love the
Simu Liu was not necessarily the person I envisioned, the actor I envisioned for Shang-Chi, but I think that's a personal preference of
I fucking love him.
another.
He's Canadian.
Yeah,
I fucking love it.
Iron Fist.
Yeah,
That's dog shit.
fair.
Avengers 1.
God tier.
Yeah, it's gotta be God.
We're S tier at lowest, but it's God tier.
It started everything, really.
Yeah, it really started everything.
Started the whole
It's-
team up thing.
I would say it's not.
It's
I would not
wi-
say. I would say these movies are better than this, but I would say Iron Man 1 is not better than the Avengers.
That's fair.
Yeah, fair enough. I can agree to that. Especially because I think like Avengers 1 was like people complain on the humor being stupid and just out of place and cringy, but I'm like no.
Outdated.
It's good. It works in Avengers 1 which is the first movie it actually you actually see it in, and it works in that movie really well.
Hulk. E tier.
I mean, it's green.
E tier, I guess.
I didn't even realize that.
I mean, I like it. I don't hate it.
I don't hate it, but
I thought Edward Norton sucked.
yeah, he's not that good.
I don't think he has like better chemistry than Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk.
Mark Ruffalo
But
is
I
definitely
do
better.
like him
Yeah.
because they did go for a more serious
Yeah.
serious
You want
take
to bump it up to C tier then?
No.
above Jessica Jones, I'd say.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's okay.
Okay. Thor 1.
Love it. A tier.
I give it like a high. I give it like a low A, high B. But if you want to put an A tier, I don't blame you.
Yeah, I love the Shakespearean aspect of it.
I'd say B tier. I don't think it's bad necessarily. I mean, it's a little slow in some places, but it's solid. I think it's solid. I mean, he does give us Loki, and Loki was fucking amazing in that movie. Like I do think yeah, just there were just some aspects with Thor and Jane Foster which were just uninteresting to me, mostly because I fucking hate Natalie Portman. But that's
This is
But
what
other
introduced me
than
to
that-
Thor, and I fucking loved him.
other than that,
Throughout
I
the
think
years
yeah,
now.
I'd say B tier.
I'm okay with where it is right now.
Eh.
Okay. I like it like low A, high B. It's kind of interchangeable.
Yeah.
I do think it's better
guess.
than Age of Ultron.
I can see why you guys would think it might be like boring and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
because it is more Shakespearean.
Now Thor: The
Then-
Dark World.
Yeah,
F, but it has a hot girl.
that's a good point.
Oh yeah, Darcy. Fucking Kat Jennings.
I just thought the movie was boring. I didn't give a fuck. I don't even remember the villain's name. Malik.
Malekith.
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 It was the Ninth Doctor.
Oh yeah,
That's
it
the
was.
only. That's the
Christopher
only reason I remember.
Never watched Doctor Who.
because it was. Yeah, it was. I have.
Yeah, clearly nerd.
You act like you're not a nerd for liking anime.
Yeah, I'm a nerd. I know I am. Okay.
Hmm.
WandaVision.
It's okay.
Banger of a show.
A tier.
The last episode kind of.
Look, all I'm saying is I would have liked to see a cooler finale.
Yeah, the finale.
'Cause
That's kind of.
the
I think-
throwing
I thought
fireballs
they
from like
really-
25 feet away is just not visually interesting to look at.
Do you know what they gave
Yeah.
way too much time to, and I fucking hated it?
What?
The black girl's name.
Oh, Monica Rambeau.
Monica
Dude, they
Rambeau.
gave way too much screen time to her, and I didn't give a fuck about her. It's a
Yeah.
show about Wanda processing the loss of Vision.
Yeah.
Why do I give a shit about Monica Rambeau? You want to have Monica Rambeau? Bring her into the second Captain Marvel movie.
My only issue with really WandaVision was I don't feel like we got enough of Vision. I
I
felt like
agree.
that's so I'd say low A.
See, like that's another thing. I really wanted more of that philosophical take from
Yeah.
Vision and that White Vision. I really like that scene. That is one of my
Yeah,
favorite scenes.
well,
in this
having them
entire
fight
show.
each other with philosophy. That's
Yeah.
that.
It's a great philosophical question. Is it the original boat?
Yeah, no, I don't.
I say
don't
it's
consider
not
it.
because all the original parts of it is gone.
Exactly.
Well,
it's
like,
a replica
who-
of the
Is
same
it
boat.
like but Vision? Which one is Vision's consciousness? His original consciousness? Which
Yeah,
one
but
has
listen,
the
that's
original
just a copy of his consciousness. His true consciousness is gone. It went out with the stones.
Yeah. So
He got his because here's the thing: he got his consciousness from the Mind Stone. Then the Mind Stone was wiped away,
Yeah.
gone, reduced to atoms.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's definitely it's a lot deeper than it's pretty deep and confusing.
Winter Soldier and Falcon the Winter Soldier.
B tier.
This was a much needed show, I think.
I'm gonna veto. I want to put it in S tier. I thought it was.
You already did a
fantastic.
veto. Well, we already had a two-way veto.
I think it's a S tier.
I do too.
I mean, I'd say it could belong in B or maybe A. I wouldn't call it S tier because
Okay, why don't you like it?
I despise the character of Falcon.
God,
Okay.
you're such a bitch.
All he does is fly and telepathically communicate with birds.
Okay, this isn't the fucking comics.
Well, he still just flies.
Okay.
That's stupid.
Did you see that first episode? That was fucking dope.
Expert in
Yeah, the episode was
expert
dope.
marksman. Expert in fucking
Look,
combat.
his Captain
expert
America
in-
story was good.
technology,
And I think like this is the
expert
first
shit ton of
time
things.
Falcon as a character. This is the first time Falcon as a character has gotten a good arc, which is what he
That's
needed.
what the whole show was about. Was him taking on the mantle of Captain America. Which, by
Yeah,
the way,
which
that dude is drippy, dude. The Wakandan fucking
Yeah, I agree.
Captain America suit. Oh my god, drippy. I would argue either low S or high A. I
agree.
personally want to put it high S because Johnson wants to put it in B equals out to A.
Yeah.
High A though.
Hey, fair enough.
Okay. Loki. I thought it was
A tier.
overrated. I still
It was
enjoyed it, but I
okay.
do think it's not as good as people make it out to be.
Yeah.
I think A tier. I enjoyed it more than WandaVision, but I enjoyed because I think Loki as a character was great. I like Loki absolutely killed it. Owen Wilson fucking killed it.
Wow.
For me,
Hmm?
Loki and WandaVision are kind of interchangeable.
I think
okay.
Loki
I'm
was
mid.
better than WandaVision. I enjoy that. I enjoy Loki more than WandaVision, but that's so I put Loki just a little bit above WandaVision.
And a better finale than WandaVision.
Yeah, absolutely.
The opening of the
Felt
multiverse
much
and
more
shit.
of a book end to it than WandaVision.
Yeah.
So, do we like this placement?
I think
That's
Doctor
fine.
even though I haven't seen Doctor Strange, I like the visual aspect of it a lot more than Loki. I think it needs to go above Loki.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Black Widow.
D.
I liked it.
I didn't mind it, but I
Same.
didn't.
I liked it, but I also know that the movie would have been better if she wasn't fucking dead when it came out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's true. I'd say C. Like I think what carried it is the opening. It smells like Teen Spirit, but just made more depressing than it already is. That was a fucking
Bless you.
banger of an opening.
That sizzled my nose a bit.
Taskmaster as a character already sucks in the comics. He still sucks in the MCU. Well, she's still. I don't really care because I never
Right?
liked
You're
Taskmaster
talking
anyway.
shit about Taskmaster in the comics?
Fuck Taskmaster. He's
Dude, you
overrated as shit.
consistently have the worst take I've ever met in a person.
Taskmaster is a coward. He runs away from Black Widow in the comics. Do you know how fucking pathetic you have to be to do that in the comics?
I say low C, but
Yeah, low
above.
C.
I would say above Agents of Shield and Defenders because at least it actually accomplished something.
Yeah, I
It
guess.
gave me one last
Yeah.
good look at Jessica, at fucking Scarlett Johansson's fat, juicy fucking ass.
It also introduced us to her sister.
Oh, she's such a
She's
baddie.
fun. Yeah.
What if?
Elena is a great addition.
What
I
if
think-
the
I
is here?
think they rushed the fuck out of the Watcher breaking his oath.
Yeah.
it was just so boring. Like the only one that I really thoroughly enjoy. Like I'm trying to think, what were the What If episodes I really kind of actually loved seeing? I guess
Captain Marvel or Captain Britain. I like
Captain
the
Britain,
zombies.
T'Challa as Star-Lord was great, and Marvel Zombies, and that's about it.
I thought the Doctor Strange one and how he processed
yeah.
the death of his girl. I thought that was fantastic.
It was interesting, but I feel like the rest of
For me, it's a stark reminder. Tony Stark. It's a stark reminder of how powerful Doctor Strange is and how like the fate of the universe hinges on his mental state.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like how he could have easily not been a hero, have one external aspect of his life been different. Like how like it's just one thing that's not even in his control, but it changes his outcome of becoming a villain.
See, for me, the magic fight in the Doctor Strange episode is exactly what I was hoping the WandaVision fight would be. Like having two
Yeah.
different styles of magic clash against each other. That was visually just insane to look at. I loved it. Every second of it. Although like that's just one part of one episode.
Yeah.
I don't think it
Hawkeye, I want to give
Hold on, I just say real quick because we're still talking about What If. I just forgot there's a bunch of episodes that I don't remember that I hated. I guess I hated them. What if Thor was an only child was trash?
that was trash.
What if Killmonger rescued Tony Stark? Actually,
That was
yeah. And
that
then
was-
what if
that
the
didn't
world
make any
lost its mightiest heroes?
that one.
I didn't mind
was,
that one.
It
I
was
like the murder
interest-
mystery.
I like
It
the
was-
murder
it
mystery. I
was-
didn't like that it was Hank Pym.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah.
Like the only like maybe I guess Hank Pym being Yellow Jacket was kind of cool, but that's literally it. It was just like to give us that lame of a story for a cheap comic book reference. Come on, man, that's not. That's
So
not
we're thinking.
D.
Yeah.
I'd say D, but C maybe I guess.
It was definitely better than these two.
That's fair.
Hawkeye, I
love
thought
it.
was a banger, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Except for
tier.
that finale, I kind of thought that I liked Wilson Fisk, but I didn't like that some random Latino girl who's deaf shot him in the face. Off
But
screen.
remember, he could easily come back.
Yeah, I
we
just
already
think it's kind of weird that they gave her a lot of screen time and gave her a whole as arc within 2 episodes, and we never learned. I don't even remember her name.
She doesn't even. I think.
I
her
just
name is
remember.
Mia.
I just remember her hero name is Echo from the
Yeah,
comics.
right, name is Echo. I think it was. Well, yeah, that was it. And I feel like they could have dug deeper on Clint. Like, I feel like we didn't get enough of Clint in that show.
I love the archery in this show.
Yeah, the archery is good. I think
I like I liked when they did LARPing. And they went LARPing.
Yeah, that was fucking
Yeah.
hilarious.
And the Pym arrow.
Yeah, the Pym
Love
arrow.
that Pym arrow. Oh my
And
god.
I think like seeing Kingpin was still
that's
great.
the only fucking useful thing Ant-Man has ever fucking done. I
Yeah.
swear to God.
Absolutely.
Stop hating on him because you're not banging Hope Van Dyne.
I don't want Evangeline Lilly anyway.
I would.
Fuck that. Nah.
Clap it.
She's better with longer hair than short hair. Like the
The
short hair
absolute
one.
worst Marvel movie I have ever seen in my entire fucking
C tier.
life.
I'd say C
Eternals.
tier.
It's
No,
so
Gemma-
good.
C tier. It's
Gemma
not good.
Chan.
It's
Gemma
not good.
Chan. Gemma Chan.
No, it's terrible.
It's
Also,
so
Salma
good.
Hayek. Salma
You
Hayek.
think
Gemma
Eternals was a
Chan.
good movie?
Angelina Jolie.
I loved it.
They're
Dude,
fucking
I was
hot.
so
wanna
enraged and bored that It took so long to set up all these things for none of it to pay off. I didn't give a shit about any of the characters. The one character I cared about was the Asian dude who fucking died.
Oh yeah.
And then Icarus ended up being the person that killed everyone just for him to go and kill himself. And then it turns out that Thanos might have actually been a good guy this whole time, because when a planet has too many people, a celestial is born from said planet and eats the people.
Thanos didn't give a shit. Okay, so Thanos, the thing with Thanos is, as a character, he just wanted the pleasure of being
not only butchered the concept of the Eternals, but the characters were so boring. The cinematography was bland. The monsters were just CGI monsters that I didn't give a shit about.
That's a good point. I will agree with you there. That the CGI.
At the worst you can give it is F, but it has a hot girl, so mid.
Dude, who?
Gemma Chan, Salma Hayek.
Salma Hayek is maybe the only thing I'll give you. Because Angelina Jolie is in that movie,
there we go.
And she does fucking nothing except have PTSD attacks.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a fair point.
Also, seeing the Asian dude in an apron was kind of funny.
Yeah, and just for him to die off 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here, dude. Fuck this movie, dude. I fucking hate it.
God, I wish I saved my veto for this one.
I hated it, dude. I hated Eternals.
I think it was C. I think it was a C. I think it was.
But you
decent.
also don't like Winter Soldier because it doesn't have 6 cars in the road.
No, I don't dislike Winter Soldier. In fact, I enjoy Winter Soldier. It's one of my favorites. It's just that's the one thing keeping it from being God tier. It's unrealistic. I lived in DC. That movie was just all wrong. That's still shit. That's still shit tier. That's C. That belongs in C. Disgusting.
Put it back at C tier. Doesn't belong there.
It belongs lower.
It belongs higher.
Which one's lower? If anything, you say F, but it had a hot girl because Sharon, but that's about it. Also Black Widow.
All right, so wait, that was us reviewing and flaming the MCU movies. So actually, to be honest, it's not a
And
bad
each
one.
other for the hot takes.
Yeah. I didn't anticipate you to have as many hot takes as you did, Nick. I thought mine would.
Yeah.
I thought mine would piss off Jacob, but yours pissed him off a little bit too.
See, I'm
All of your
not.
hot takes suck.
I'm not a huge MCU fan. Like, I've always been more onto the DC side.
Oh,
yeah,
dude,
I mean, I like them equally.
Don't get me on a tier list. I will flame DC movies.
We could do a Star Wars tier list the next week or
Oh
something.
boy, I don't think
Wow.
Jacob would
Dude.
like my Star Wars
Dude,
hot
you
takes
give me
either.
10 minutes to flame fucking The Last Jedi. The worst Star
It's not
Wars
that bad.
movie.
The Last Jedi is not that bad.
It is the worst Star Wars movie.
I used to think the exact same thing,
Dude,
and then
dude,
I completely changed my mind.
I'm down to do a discussion on Star Wars next
No
week.
comment.
I'm gonna spend the next whole week writing out a fucking 5-page essay on why The Last Jedi is so dog shit, why Ryan Johnson should have his license revoked from making movies.
John, you need to get fucking Darth Choco in here as well. This would be
Okay,
dope.
look, can you talk to him as well? Because I might not be able to convince him enough because he's a little he's cool with me, but
Yeah. Okay.
a lot of people he knows aren't cool with me.
Yeah.
Tell
So,
him that there's that fat white dude who wants to argue about Star Wars.
Yeah.
How do you have a movie?
But no, Nick, I will need you to help him. Like, I'll definitely invite you
kill him
on.
off in the stupidest way possible. The
That-
new
it was
the
beautiful.
sequel trilogy was about killing off the past characters.
Oh my god.
If they would have just killed off Han and then killed off Leia because the actress who played Leia died, I get it. I miss Carrie Fisher. I woke up and I found out my dad texted me and I cried. I miss Princess Leia. One of my favorite characters.
Mhm.
But they had a chance to go back and fucking fix the fact that they were going to kill Luke, and they stuck with it. You know, Mark Hamill didn't even know that he was going to die.
Yeah.
He didn't know that his character, Luke Skywalker, the character that made him famous, he didn't know that Luke Skywalker died until the reveal of the movie at the premiere. And he's like, what the fuck?
He was actually cool with it. He was
He loves the movie now. Like he loves it.
Everyone says, "Oh, he loves the movie now."
He
but then
does.
you ask him,
He does.
when
That
movie
video was
of course
taken
he
out
was
of
sucking off that movie. But then when you go and ask him now, he's like, "That movie sucked."
No, he loves it.
He does. He loves it.
He said it multiple times that he wishes he regrets saying that he didn't like Rian Johnson's directing at that time, because that should have stayed between them in the process of making the movie and not been released publicly.
I wasted 40 minutes of my fucking life on a casino planet just to
Okay.
not be Lando.
I mean,
Alright, but anyway, yeah, we've already finished our tier list, so I hope you guys enjoy.
Listen, I want Nick to try and justify that. 40 minutes, side plot with Rose, the worst character, just for us to have a reveal of a great hacker that could have been Lando Calrissian, just for us to get fucked over.
it would have been cool to have Lando show up
Yeah,
there.
I do agree.
I will agree with you there.
That would have been
Um,
the perfect place to bring him back.
I agree.
yeah,
Instead, we got Guillermo del Toro showing up just to betray them. And
okay, I mean, I'll mind
Captain Phasma getting stooged again.
Yeah,
Mhm. I do wish we got more Captain Phasma too.
yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I have things that I
Brianna Tarth was a great
wish
character.
there was more of, or I wish things might not have happened the way that they did. But for what we got, I'm okay with it, and I'm happy
Yeah.
watching them, and I love watching them now.
I vowed to myself I will never go back and rewatch that movie.
I think, see, okay, I was the exact same way. I was complete gatekeeper when I first joined TikTok. Some of my
Gatekeeping
first
is one
videos
thing.
are
I
pretty
warn
gatekeepy.
people the danger that is that dog shit movie.
Yeah.
But listen, if you just listen to the things that people love about these movies and then rewatch them, forgetting all that negative stuff that you had and only focusing on the stuff that other people love, you will enjoy your time watching them. Because that's exactly what I did, and it completely changed my mind.
your criticisms, and I do because I respect the fuck out of you. You seem super chill.
Thank
You're
you.
not toxic as fuck. I know I'm toxic about some things, but I'm passionate. You know, it's my Italian
Yeah.
blood.
I understand.
Yeah. Just promise me you will be a little bit more mindful, because like because I know that Darth Chaco would not like coming on here just to hear you tone it down a little bit.
You can say it, a cunt.
Okay, so here's what I would say.
Don't be a cunt.
If we
That's
do this
mostly
next
it.
week, and we get Darth Choco on the podcast, come in with an open mind.
Yeah.
Definitely have a list of things that you don't like about this movie, but have an open mind. Listen in order to respond.
Try and understand. Okay.
Exactly.
I will do that.
Sorry.
I will
Yes.
I will come with a list. It
Yes.
might be 10 pages long.
Look,
It
that's
might
fine.
It's fine.
It might not even be
That's
double
fine.
spaced and at 11-point font. But I will come in and open with an
Put it
open
in this
mind,
way.
but-
Like Chaco is cool with me. He doesn't agree with everything I say. He doesn't like some of my opinions or the way I express, the way I word certain things that I say. But he's as open-minded as you could possibly come across in a fan. Definitely. Well, don't be a dick. Don't be a cunt to him, I guess is really the point I'm trying to make, because he truly is going to try to listen to you and understand your criticism. He doesn't deny the fact that he personally does not like the sequels. Like, he doesn't like the Rise of Skywalker. Like, he's made it clear to me, but he's not gonna he's not going to
He's
actively
not gonna pull me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Listen. You can use me as an adjective or as an insult. I know who I am. I know what I've done. I know why people don't like me. I
Yes.
get it.
But yeah,
I
that's
mean, I know why people don't like me either.
Mhm.
But
yeah.
Anyway, guys, since we're still recording, I know everyone's been hearing this rant. The two people that are in here, including Dreidel. Yeah. These
Colonel
are
was my favorite viewer until he said that he loved The Last Jedi. He's not.
Yeah,
my
that's
least favorite
fine.
viewer.
No, that's valid. But don't say that, and don't say that to Chaco. Don't try to say
yeah,
that to anyone.
definitely just come, because the one thing that the
I don't know
gatekeeping
who this
community
guy
of
is.
Star
Is he-
Wars.
Yeah.
Is he a super butthurt if someone doesn't like something in Star Wars?
No,
thing?
No, it's
Like
not
that?
that. It's just that he doesn't like toxic behavior, and especially sometimes when you come off sounding like that, like it's okay to dislike it. It's okay to passionately dislike it. I genuinely hate The Rise of Skywalker. I really hated that movie. But try to tone down and try not to just immediately bash on every single thing. Like don't sound like a dick. Express it.
I get it. I will try and keep my toxic self in check.
The thing
Yeah,
is,
I didn't realize I'm toxic. I just thought I was
I
passionate.
mean, maybe you're not really.
I'm not toxic.
I
I'm just Italian.
Well, no, it's more or less like you're not toxic, but some people might be concerned, or you might have. There are some concerns.
The problem though with like the gatekeeping community of Star Wars is that they peddle misinformation just insanely well. They're very loud with misinformation.
And they sort of do often talk in a similar manner to you, Jacob. No offense. It's just that like you're allowed to hate on it. That's not inherently toxic. You're allowed to criticize it. Not inherently toxic. But the way the toxic fans do that all the time, they milk the fuck out of certain points and complaints that are that sometimes are silly, even if they're valid criticism. But like it's over, like they overdo it. That can be a little. That's why like we warn you not to try to chill out in a little bit next week, assuming we can get Chaco in here. I will try to see if I can get Char back in here. I know he'd be down.
Char, I miss Char, dude.
Char is amazing. No, he's
Char be
super
tagging
chill.
me in some Star Wars stuff on TikTok. I'm like, yeah, shout out to Char.
Oh, I'm glad he does. That's fucking awesome.
All right, so we'll end it here.
Yeah, we'll end here. I hope you got. Yeah, sorry for that rant. We were meaning to end the chat and this whole thing.
Fuck you. Suffer.
So
you watch us, you get to hear us.
Yeah. I hope everyone has a good night. And yeah, that's about it. I think we've said everything.
If you want to catch them on socials, Grandmaster Nick. If you want to drop your socials.
Yeah, it's just Grandmaster Nick on TikTok. Then from there you can find my Instagram.
Okay, now drop your social security number real quick, and then your mother's first maiden name.
I'm gonna skip on that one. I don't memorize that
You
shit
can see up
very
in the
well.
top corner. Or right here.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me back on.
No
It's always
problem.
fun.
We enjoy it. I'm glad to
We
always
enjoy
have you
yelling
on
at
here.
each other over things.
Yeah, enjoy yelling. I think you're a great person. You're a great guy. Especially
I
as an
try.
ex-gatekeeper.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun
I
hearing
really
you
want to
guys
bang
say.
your goatee, dude. I get Green Arrow.
So anyway, everyone have a good night.
I got a cosplay coming up. I got a Green Arrow cosplay coming up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wear the old Peter Pan level hat.
No, it's season 8 Arrow. But I'm going to add in. I want to 3D print some armor pieces to put on top
Season
of it.
8, right? Are we talking like post Gravestone?
Yes, or pre Gravestone.
I just walk around as a gravestone like, hey, I'm all in Arrow season 8.
But anyway,
Yeah.
guys, see ya.